Okay, it is time for piano. Hey everybody, nice to see you. Happy Friday. I'm very happy to have piano today with you. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I just actually realized outside of my window it's starting to look kind of stormy, so cross your fingers that we don't lose the connection. But if we do happen to lose it, I'll try my best to get hooked up again, but if not, we'll just have to do a makeup lesson. All right, well, let's get started. First thing you can do for me, of course, is if you can like and share this video, I would really appreciate it. The second thing is go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. I am literally 7 people away from 2,000 subscribers. So if you know a couple people that might want to take piano with me, send them my channel so that they can subscribe and get to learning as well. All right? The third thing is if you haven't joined our private Facebook group, I highly encourage you to do that too, because that's where you get that interaction with me as your teacher, right? So search for Encore Music Makers. You can find it on the Groups tab on the main Facebook page, and just put your request in to join. I'd love to have you. And then the final thing, of course, is I am on Patreon, right? So I've talked a little bit about Patreon being just this really wonderful place for creative people like myself to collect a steadier income, right? So because of the virus and because of so many different things happening, my income stream has really changed. So it would be very helpful if you have the means to help support these lessons that I've been bringing week after week for the last 7 months, and keep me going, right? I love doing this, and I love making friends and teaching people all across the globe, and I can only do that with your help. So if you want to visit patreon.com/izzychia, just choose a tier that works for you. I've got stuff from $3 a month all the way up to $50 a month. All right. Awesome. Yay. So let's get started. All right. Now, if you want to pull out your lesson book, we are going to take a look at Waltz Time. Okay. Waltz Time is on page 43. Okay. I love this song, by the way. It's such a good one. All right. Yeah. So 43 was Waltz Time. Okay. We've got our music right there. Now we're going to review a little bit about this song because there's different things that make it a little bit tricky, right? We had things like the 3/4 time. We had slurs in the left hand and staccato in the right hand. We also had really interesting dynamics, right? We had crescendos and diminuendos. We had all kinds of cool things. We had tied notes at the end. We also started diving into our tempo markings, right? So if you remember the tempo markings that we learned, allegro was like cheetah fast, right? Like, pew, right? You see I've got my cat ears. Cheetah fast, right? Even though this is not cheetah, this is more like leopard. But that's okay. And then we had moderato. Moderato is the same tempo that we have for our song, Waltz Time. And remember I was referring to that one like bunny rabbit speed, right? It's fast, but it's not that fast, okay? Next we had Andante. Andante was awesome because it was like walking speed, right? You think of like walking your dog, right? And then we had Adagio, which was perfect. I love Adagio because I think of the snail, right? Well, remember when Miss Izzy says super snail slow? That's the snail, right? We want to make it Adagio, okay? So for Waltz Time itself, remember it's moderato for our speed. So let's see if we can communicate that in our Waltz Time. And just to be fancy, I kind of want to play the repeat. I know there's not one written, but it might be kind of fun to play it with a repeat, okay? And remember the suggestion to said play the repeat 1 octave higher, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and try it. Why not? All right, let's switch to piano view. All right, so here we go. We've got a couple things here. Middle C position. All right, so there is my middle C. I've got both my thumbs there, and I have fanned out my fingers. I'm going to begin with my left hand, finger 1 on middle C, and then I'm going to answer that with my right hand staccato third with a 3 and a 5 on E and G. All right, here we go. I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Awesome job. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, I'm really happy that we ended up getting through that song. How are you feeling about it? Are you feeling okay? Yeah, I think Hannah's watching. Hannah, did you feel good about your waltz time? If you did, drop me a thumbs up, okay? Good. All right. Well, let's see if we can talk a little bit more about this song. Now, I had the feeling that we may perhaps play this song for one more week, not necessarily to work on finger numbers or notes, but more to work on the dynamics, right? The dynamics and the tempo, right? If you noticed when I played it, I still played it a little bit on the slow side. It was kind of more like an andante, when it should have probably been a moderato, right? So let's keep waltz time to work on those two things. We're going to work on the tempo and the dynamics, okay? Those are the two things that I want you to focus on for this week for waltz time. If you're feeling good about your notes, then you should be totally okay with keeping it for those specific reasons, okay? Now, let's move on, okay? We're going to turn the page. Here we go. We got a new song to learn, right? Yes. I'm very proud of the progress that we have been making. It's just really, really remarkable to see this on a weekly basis. And when I get to see all these videos of your progress, it just makes me like the happiest teacher ever, because I know that you guys really care about how much you're learning, and that's so wonderful. So I think we should do like a 1 second party. What do you say? Just for being awesome. Let's do it. Ready? 1 second party, 1 second party, woo! Yeah, I really like using my fingers when I dance now. I find that like sometimes we'll like ignore our fingers when we dance, but I think it's kind of fun, because like where else do we have like 10 little appendages to like wiggle and shake? Like besides our toes, obviously. But our fingers are fun. They're just like la 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 la, doing our cool thing, right? Yes, it's so much fun. Okay, well, of course, let's learn our second song, okay? Enough fun. Well, not really. We're still gonna have fun. So our second song is Good King Wenceslas. Isn't that a funny name? It's hard to say Wenceslas. Can you say it? Wenceslas. Yeah, that's okay. When I was a kid, I would call it Wenceslas, and that would be it, right? Good King Wenceslas. All right, now, this is a pretty interesting song, okay? It's also going to be in that middle C position, right? Do you remember our butterfly middle C position? I don't know if Petunia's around here somewhere. Oh, there she is. She's over there. You don't need to see the butterfly. But Petunia, remember the butterfly, she lands on your thumbs, and those thumbs land on middle C, right? But the cool thing about Good King Wenceslas is this. For our left hand finger, too, we're actually going to place it on a B flat instead of a regular B. Do you remember the B flat, or do you remember the flat sign? Do you remember what that looks like? Kind of looks like a melting letter B, right? Gravity's got me down, right? If you think about that, gravity's got me down, it's like the note itself is being pulled down a half step, right? It's just like that. So the flat sign has turned the B into a B flat. And it sounds different, okay? So what I'm going to do is switch to piano view, and we're going to figure out our hand position and play the first part of our song, okay? So we are on page 44. We're in that butterfly middle C position, right, friends? But remember what I said, finger 2 is going to be flat. So I'm going to say, flat it. And it's going to melt down to this black note right there, the B flat. So that way your hands look kind of like this instead. If you're rewatching this on YouTube, you can always pause it to make sure you're in the right spot, okay? But of course, since we're live, you can't really pause it. You just kind of have to watch. That's okay. All right, now that we're in the right spot, let's see if we can begin to play this song. We're just going to try the first line to start. This song begins on a finger 4, right hand. That's an F, okay? Let's see what happens when we play this, okay? I'm going to say my note names as we play the first line for the right hand. 1, 2, 3, go. F, 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 G, F, F, C, D, C, B, F. Ooh, that sounded kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. I really do. I think that that's actually kind of good, all right? Now you notice that the left hand, I kind of didn't really say anything that the left hand was playing, but I didn't really have to because it gave us all the finger numbers, right? All the finger numbers were there. So if we're doing a note review of the first line for the left hand, it begins with the first note being a B flat, skip down to a G, then a third with A and C. Wasn't too bad. 4 notes, it's not that bad, right? Let's see if we can play that first line again. You want to try it again? Let's do it. All right, so I am back in position, all right? Here we are. We're starting with that finger 4 right hand. I'm going to say my note names again because I know it's going to be helpful, okay? Now, if you already were paying attention, the left hand notes and intervals are already noted. So you just have to pay attention when we get to that third measure, okay? This is the first line again. Are you ready? Let's do it. 1, 2, ready, play. F, 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 G, F, F, C, D, C, D, E, F. That was great, guys. Very good. You know what? Let's do a challenge. Do you want to keep going? Let's do it. All right, let's keep going. Line 2 now. Good King Wenceslas on page 44. 1, 2, ready, play. F, 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 G, F, second line sound just like the first line? It does. It's because it's the same, right? Same notes, same fingers, same slurring. The only thing that's different is the dynamic sign. The first line we have to play it forte, and then the second line we have to play it piano. Okay, that's the only difference. So you got really lucky. If you know the first line, then you know the second line too. All right, now let's start at the third line of this song now. Good King Wenceslas. I noticed something really cool. Instead of the right hand playing by itself, that first two measures, the left hand's doing it now. So that's kind of nice. The left hand gets a chance to have the melody. Let's switch to piano view and learn that third line. Here we go. Oh, I see Hannah's giving the rundown of how many people are watching live, huh? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, sometimes Hannah, sometimes people come in and they pop in and watch for a little bit and then they leave again. And then others pop in later too. So, you know, it happens. That's okay. I'm just glad some of y'all are sticking around. Let's start at line 3. I've got to remember that my left hand finger 2 is on that B flat. All right. We're starting on line 3. That's a left hand to start. All right. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to say my note names for the left hand this time. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. C, B flat, A, G, A, G, F, B flat, G, A and C, A and C. Hey, that sounded kind of cool. Yeah, I liked that little bit of the left hand part where it had the melody. Let's play line 3 again. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. C, B flat, A, G, A, G, F, B flat, G, A and C, A and C. Very good. Yeah, you noticed that for that line 3, I was giving you the note names of the left hand only. So it kind of got a little bit jumbly, I would say, those last 2 measures, right? But I noticed something else. Oh my gosh, there's like so many things to notice in this, right? Like the dynamic sign is different. This one says mezzo forte. So we're back to a medium loud, right? Sort of like in the middle between piano and forte. And then the last 2 measures of line 3, they're kind of like exactly the same as the last 2 measures of line 2 and the last 2 measures of line 1. What's going on here? This is kind of silly. Lots of things to notice, huh? The last line is different than any other line. Okay, so we're going to spend a little bit more time on that one now, okay? Let's work on that last line so we can finish the song! Woohoo! All right, so here we go. Middle C position again. Finger 2 left hand on that B flat. We're going to begin with the finger 1 right hand on middle C. And then the left hand finishes it off in those last 2 measures. And then we get to end with a big chord. Ooh, that's going to be fun. All right, let's see how this goes, okay? Are you in position? Let's do it. Here we go. Counting off. 1, 2, ready, play. C, C, D, E, F, F, G. Left hand now. C, B flat, A, G, F. Skip up a 4th to B flat. And then here's our chord. F and A for the left hand and C and F for the right hand. Ooh, that sounds really fancy. I like that last chord. And we have to play it nice and gently because it's at the end of a diminuendo, right? Let's play line 4 again. I think that's a great idea. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. C, C, D, E, F, F, G. Left hand. C, B flat, A, G, F, B flat. Pretty chord. There it is. I like that ending. That's really special. Wonderful job if you got to the end of that. That's really, really great. Now, I hope you noticed all those patterns, right? I even boxed and bracketed mine in, right? Those 3 lines at the ending, you see those measures that are the same here, here, and down here, right? And then I even circled all of my dynamic signs. Forte, then piano, then mezzo forte. Yeah, and then you notice on the last line, it had a pair of crescendo and diminuendo, right? So our hairpins going like this. Like scissors or alligators talking to each other. So you start soft over here, you get louder, and then this one catches it loud, and then you go soft again, right? So that's happening at the bottom of your song, okay? Now that we have done that, I'm gonna play Good King Wenceslas all the way through so you can hear how it's supposed to sound. Does that sound like a good plan? Let's do it. We can do this. All right, follow along in your music, okay? If you want to pick one hand to play along, you can do that. Here we go. I am in middle C butterfly position with the left hand finger 2 on my B flat. Okay? Here we go. Beginning with the right hand. 1, 2, ready, play. Such a nice song. I love it. Bravo to you if you were able to follow along with your finger in your music. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty on Monday for practice. So we're going to really work on those tricky spots. That way we can iron them out and make the song sound extra special. Okay? How much fun was that? I had a great time with you guys today. Now, you can close your lesson book because that's all of our playing that we're going to do, right? Now, if you want to pull out your theory book, you can. I just have one short message to give you about theory. If you haven't done page 32, all about tempo, do it this week. Okay? Yeah, that way you can keep up with it, right? Remember, everything that we learn at the piano, the theory book is helping, like, do it in a different way. It's the same concept. It's the same learning goal, but we're learning it differently, right? Rather than just playing it all the time, sometimes we have to read it or we have to write it, right? And that's why theory is so important. And the cool thing about theory too is that your music theory skills that you learn, you can take to any other instrument. So say you like want to be awesome and you want to learn how to play trumpet or something. You can. And everything that you learned in piano from music theory will be the same. It's really cool. And then maybe say another person wants to go learn how to play the saxophone. Like all jazzy and stuff, right? You can do that too. That's totally fine because everything that I teach you here, you get to take that information and knowledge and apply it to your new instrument. And that's the coolest part too. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that. I learned it in Miss Izzy's class. So that's pretty awesome. All right. Now, quick updates. All right. Calendar update. All right. Quick reminder. On Patreon, on Tuesday, the 27th, I'm having my exclusive Patreon Halloween costume party. Okay, so this is for all of my patrons that are the $10 level and higher. You are invited to a private Zoom virtual Halloween costume party. And I would love to have you. So if you haven't signed up for Patreon, now's your chance. We're doing lots of fun stuff on there, okay? And we're going to learn a sneaky Halloween song too. All right? Now, next Friday's lesson, this lesson, right, just next week, is our Halloween costume lesson, right? So dress up in your Halloween costume, okay? Take a photo of yourself at the piano. Have mom or dad or whatever grown-up is with you. Post it in the group, all right? We're going to have fun. It's our Halloween lesson, all right? And then, after that, I am going to be sending out all the instructions for the virtual recital. Did you know we were having a recital? If you read your email, you would know. So yes, our virtual recital is in December, but I need to have all of my registration done in the month of November because I need to know who is participating and I need to give you all the instructions for participating. So if you feel like you are ready to play something really good on the piano, dressing up in your best outfit and having your grown-up record you, then think about joining our recital, okay? Spots will be limited for that. So if you want to do it, make sure you get that registration in when it comes out, okay? I'll remind you guys one more time next week for that, all right? Awesome, very, very good. Now, quick reminder, of course, I've already kind of said this, like Patreon, right? If you're not on Patreon, you're missing out. Patreon is just a way for me to just connect with you guys on a different level, right? Like, I have exclusive polls, I have different questions and events, like the Halloween one coming up, just for my patrons, right? And then we are even going to have a new level being introduced next month that includes private lessons with me. Oh my goodness. I've had a lot of requests for private lessons, and as much as I want to put everybody on the schedule, I can't put everyone on the schedule, so I have to limit it. So when that new level is introduced, I will let everybody know, and it'll be first come, first serve for those private lesson patron level, okay? Love to have you. All right. Now, our music quote, right? So our music quote for today comes from the Ghanaian writer and scientist, Layla Gifty Akita. And this is what she says. Music promotes wellness and sound mind. That's really, really good, right? So you think of wellness, you think of like your health, right? So music can do amazing things for your health, right? Not only can it get your body moving if you're like really liking a song, it also makes new neural connections in your brain, keeps your brain healthy. It also can bring you a sense of peace if maybe you're feeling sad or lonely or depressed. It can help you that way too, right? Music has a lot of healing powers, doesn't it? And it's pretty awesome that you get to make your own music. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me for piano today. We had a fun time. Let everybody know that I'm doing these piano lessons and I'd love to see more people enjoying them, okay? I'll see you guys very soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.